Producers. Have you ever said this to yourself while making a beat?
Yeah, man, you know, the beat's hard. It just needs like 2 or 3 more layers of that melodic part right here, and we can add a pad, and then, you know, the lead will come in over here, and we can add like 4 more perks, and then a second kick drum and like 10 more snares on this part.
Shut up. Stop it. Adding a lot of sounds can be fun to do, but like Gucci said, you can't get lost in the sauce. So I'm gonna show y'all my 6 favorite ways to sauce up a beat without adding any more sounds, just using what we have, getting creative, and keeping it interesting with the core elements.
Hit the button cause I'm trying to get my subs up. I know you feeling this, so hit it with a thumbs up.
Today's Black T-shirt brought to you by Narcotic. And how hard is this shirt? I mean, come on. Owned by my friend Lil Nar. They have some of the craziest designs, and it's no wonder that it's a hugely successful brand. And today's TV background, some nice, peaceful waves. Hitting a lovely looking beach.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I'll go ahead and play the beat so you can see what we're working with. I've arranged it very simply for now, and I'm gonna make a complete beat out of this, not adding anything else, just getting creative, using the tools that we have, keeping it dope at its core. Number 1 on the list is going to be pitching and stretching sounds, something that may seem obvious on the surface, but it's often overlooked. You can actually do a lot just by pitching sounds up and down, stretching them out. I only have one sound in this beat, it's the bells. Let's go ahead and try just pitching this down. More of an intro kind of melody that can drop into the higher one, and will probably drop back into the lower one for the verse part. Sounds like a verse starting. As far as time stretching goes, a really popular plugin that producers are using these days is called halftime. It's essentially playing at half speed, and it's an octave down. So it's doing what we did with the first part of the bells. It's lowering it an octave, but it's also stretching it out. So I've automated it so the halftime is off until it gets to this last 4 bars of the verse, and then it's gonna turn on right there, and we can gradually come out of the halftime by doing a little slope like this. Way more interesting transition, and we haven't added any sounds. We're just playing with the one we already have. Moving right along to number 2 on my list, drops. Dropping sounds strategically, bringing them back in, creating moments that are just fun and interesting. So yeah, let's start slicing and dicing. I'm hearing the drums coming out and letting that moment in the 808 kind of have its shine. Hearing maybe another short hi-hat drop right here. I like doing drops when the song is transitioning from one part to another. It kind of indicates to the listener, hey, we're going to a new part of the song. I'm hearing all the drums coming out, and once again, coming back in on that clap. And I'm going to move the crash. We definitely need a drop going back into the hook. We want to signify, here comes the hook again. The hook's coming back in. We're giving audio cues to the listeners because, I don't know, listeners are dumb. We got to help them out. I'm sorry, listeners. You know I love you. Tell me that doesn't sound like the hook coming back in. We've sliced and diced. We've created some dynamics. We've created some sauce. We've added by taking away. We've used space as our musical friend. What a thought. Moving on to my favorite number 3. It's gonna be the almighty and coveted beat stutter. If you've listened to the radio in the last 200 years, you probably heard what this is. Basically, all I'm gonna do is take these 3 beats out and copy this beat over 3 more times. Crossfades on the audio, so we're not getting any pops and clicks. Why are we fighting the pops and clicks? Can't we make peace with the pops and the clicks? And I'm hearing maybe the drums dropping out on the 4th stutter. Are you gaining from this? Is anyone watching this? Number 4 on my list of top ways to sauce up your beats without adding more sounds is going to be the simple act of filtering. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this EQ on the beat bus. Basically, all I'm gonna do is automate the high cut and the low cut in and out to kind of have the radio effect when you're taking out the low end and kind of have the drowned out, washed out sound when you cut the high end out. So I'm going to cut some top end off at the moment when the drums drop out. It's going to give that drowned out kind of sound to the bells. So it has a moment where it kind of shrinks down and then comes back up. It's a pretty subtle effect how I used it here, but I promise if you spend less time trying to cover up weak sounds with new sounds and just putting a bunch of shit into a pot that doesn't make sense together, and more time finding the perfect ingredients and saucing them up the perfect way, boom, you've got dinner. Let's try another one somewhere in the verse. Let's go the other way with it. I'm hearing, instead of a high cut, I'm going to go to low cut. Taking away the boom of the 808 seems crazy, but it makes the boom that much bigger when the boom comes back. It's boom science. You can watch what the automation is doing here on the EQ. Maybe there's a hard bar in a verse right there, and all of a sudden that bar kind of gets highlighted a little bit. It's little moments like these, little nuances that I just love adding to beats. No one of them by themselves is going to make or break a song, but it keeps it interesting, it keeps it going. So don't be afraid to get into the nitty-gritty. Chugging right along into number 5, and this is a good one. A lot of times beat makers like to use what are called risers. It's kind of like a before you reach for a new riser, we can use the sounds that we have. I have a crash and I have an 808 here. I'm going to reverse these sounds and maybe fade them in to give them that extra dynamic. Pretty cool. I'm thinking shorter. Boom. Does it give you that feeling? Like, here it comes. Altogether sounds like this. Are you guys learning anything yet? Number 6 of my top ways to sauce up your beats without adding more sounds. And I'm talking about automating effects. Automation in general to me is one of the most underrated tools. It is so powerful for having anything do anything at any moment in time. It's like the God power. We kind of already did this in tip number 1 with the halftime, but I'll demonstrate a couple more ways. So I'm gonna go over here to my beat bus and throw on a plugin called Endless Smile by Dada Life. Super dope plugin, literally one knob and one setting. The little guy gets happier the more of the effect you use. So let's just try it on the intro. Let's have it come in with some Endless Smile and then be gone by the time it drops in. I like it. Let's try one more. I'm gonna go into the stock Logic plugins. By the way, I made a video highlighting my top 5 favorite stock plugins in Logic. I'll put a link to it over there. I'm telling you, there's some great shit built into this DAW. You don't have to go breaking the bank, spending a bunch of money on third party before you've mastered what's already here. Let's try the ring shifter. This is trippy. We're going to automate the dry wet of the ring shifter. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Are you guys having a fun time? Let me know in the comments. Let's make it even more intense before it comes back. So on this one 808 note that rings out, we've stretched it, we've done the slowdown, tape stop effect, and we've added the ring shifter. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And just like that, we have taken 7 tracks. We needed some more detail, a little bit more sauce, but not too much sauce. So we took what we already had, we remixed it, we switched it up, but we haven't added any more sounds, and we've made it way more interesting. Incorporate this into your beats as soon as you can. If your beats don't get better, come back and leave me a comment and say, hey, you, Henry, this didn't work. And equally, if it did work for you, please come back and let me know that your beats have been upgraded to the next sauce level. I love hearing it. I love hearing about what else you guys want me to make videos about. I'm all ears. 6 ways to sauce up your beat without adding more sounds. That's a wrap. 3 out.
on the tube, on the tube, on the tube, yeah. I'm on the tube, on the tube, on the tube, whoa.